Kid Rock is hip-hop's worst mistake.
What'd you think of Bad Bunny? I know you didn't see all of it, but you saw some clips.
Like most people, I didn't understand any of it. I mean, I saw there's a lot of dancers and a lot of big to-do stuff. And, you know, he said he wanted to have a dance party. It looked like he had one. You know, not my cup of tea, but I don't fault that kid for, you know, doing the Super Bowl, getting in front of a global audience. I fault the NFL for putting him in that position, you know, and Turning Point for having to come out and have an alternative for people to watch, you know. It's just, poor kid.
Poor rich kid.
Poor rich kid. Man, I think this all started, man, I could go on for days, but to sum it, I would think back 2016 when Colin Kaepernick took a knee, you know, to protest, I think it was racial injustice and police brutality and everything that, you know, they got a lot of people's panties in a bunch, self included. I did not agree with him, but nonetheless, he's got the right to, you know, speak his mind, do his thing. And Roger Goodell really had a real problem on his hand back then. And I think he was like, how do I get out of this and, you know, keep making the tens upon millions of dollars a year that I make, you know, in a predominantly male black league. So he goes like, well, maybe Jay-Z will do it, which nothing against Jay-Z. I respect him for his hustle and, you know, his music. But it seems like there's a little bit of a DEI hire there going on, you know, to kind of like, you know, like, oh, you know, black guys love Jay-Z. And of course, I'm not that ignorant. I know a lot of us love Jay-Z, not just black guys. But in the league where he had this problem, it seemed like, you know, oh, we'll bring him in. And so, you know, Jay-Z's not going to take that position of power and that money. So, you know, then they convened in a not for profit league until, you know, they quietly got rid of that tax exempt status at some point, so Roger did not have to disclose his salary. You know, so he had all sorts of problems. So he brings in Jay-Z, and what's Jay-Z going to do? He's going to do right by his base. That's where you had Kendrick Lamar last year. A lot of people didn't get. I respect Kendrick Lamar, but wasn't my cup of tea. And, you know, then this year you're like, wow, they're going to double down. And to me, it was kind of just like another middle finger to conservatives, to the MAGA, you know, crowd, to my base, everything.
What's up, world? Your boy Charles Brown back again, talking facts. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit notification bell. Keep sending those cash apps to CLBMG. Join that membership, and all you buying that merch down below. Gang, listen, before we get started, I need you to go down in my bio. I got some affiliate links down there I want you to tap into. I got Temu, I got Black Yeti, I got ReStream, I got DistroKid, Brew Demon, and Gameo Outdoors. Go in, lock in, support the channel. All right, listen. Kid Rock is a mistake. Kid Rock was hip-hop's biggest mistake. I don't know how we got here, but for some reason, we're here, and Kid Rock is here with us. I'm going to apologize to the young people that don't understand what we were thinking back in the day when we accidentally let Kid Rock into this situation. How did Kid Rock get into hip-hop? Your guess is as good as mine. But at one point, guys, we actually, I'm just going to say it out loud, we actually respected Kid Rock to some degree. It was a different time, gang. It was a different place, and we actually embraced a lot more things than we should. We didn't have all this MAGA stuff, this, that, and the third, to just pinpoint what people really were and what they were about back then. It was kind of like what was it, a George Bush era, some shit like that. It was different. We were very open and forthcoming with who can get in. If you showed a love and appreciation for the culture, and I'm not going to say it backfired, but with Kid Rock, something went wrong down the way. And I think we saw early on, I believe he had beef with Eminem and a whole lot of people that really showed much more love for the culture. It was apparent a few years in with Kid Rock that Kid Rock was using this culture. And a lot of people look at me sideways when I say stuff like this, when I say like Post Malone did the same thing to us. Well, Kid Rock was Post Malone before Post Malone did it. Used the culture, sprung up on it, and then showed his true colors, became rock and this, that, and the third right before our very eyes. And out of nowhere, we're like, yo, I thought he was rhyming. I thought he was a rapper. We made a mistake with Kid Rock, gang, and I don't know if hip-hop can correct it. Do we have to correct it? I need y'all to let me know in the comments. Is this our problem to correct? Maybe it is. Maybe I got to get on Kid Rock and try to correct the wrongs of others, right? Us and included. I can't recall ever going to the store, walking up to the counter with a Kid Rock anything in my hand, a single, a cuss single, a vinyl, anything, a nothing, a poster, shirt. I never supported Kid Rock in that degree, but at some point I do have to say I did say give him a chance, right? Give him a shot, right? I think he had the one song and it was never my cup of tea. I never remember a whole lot of rappers being locked in with Kid Rock. Maybe I'm misremembering. I really don't know how we got here, but I do remember people giving him a pass. Okay, we gave him a pass. We let him rap and tell his stories and this, that, and the third. But push came to shove, and we slowly started to realize he ain't like us. Something's going on. This is not trailer park trash. This is something else. We don't know what's going on with Kid Rock, but it started to be pretty obvious that this guy wasn't on the same team, and here we are. So Kid Rock is full on MAGA, and I really believe he's pandering to a degree, because I watched a couple videos the other day after the Super Bowl. He watched Bad Bunny. He really respects Bad Bunny for getting the bag. He respects Jay-Z. He said it in the video. If you listen to him, it's like he remembers to pander, right? He'll be talking and then he'll say, okay, it ain't my cup of tea, but he'll remember to pander. So to some degree, he kind of gets what's going on the other side, but he's grifting. He has to stay over there and do this turning point thing because they're the ones paying him, right? I heard he had 200 fake actors. The whole thing was pre-recorded. He still wasn't clear, was it pre-recorded or not. It's all over the place. It's just a weird thing. I put the video in the beginning, and I apologize if it's too long, but end of the day, man, this stuff is just, I don't know. I don't know how we got here, but let me read this, because Kid Rock, he labeled Jay-Z a DEI hire, right? Which in and of itself, you're already going against the grain with that bullshit. We already know you're not hip. He ain't been hip-hop for a while, but we spawned this guy, right? And for him to say, I respect Jay-Z, but then call him a DEI hire, let's have this conversation, okay? Let's talk about it. Kid Rock performed at Turning Point USA's All-American halftime show in protest of the NFL selection of Bad Bunny. Kid Rock discussed Bad Bunny's performance at the Super Bowl halftime show during an interview with Laura Ingraham on Fox News on Monday. I don't know how many of you guys actually tune into Fox News for any reason, but if you do tune into Fox News, you might want to leave a chat, because this conversation really probably not going to sound good to you. In doing so, he defended Bad Bunny despite taking issue with the NFL choosing a Spanish language artist for the event. Instead, he placed the blame on league commissioner Roger Goodell and Jay-Z, who has been handling the halftime show since 2019. Remember last year when all the debate was, does Jay-Z pick him or does he not pick him? I think that they had all this misinformation and misdirection. Even I was saying, well, they presented to the city, and the city, the whole city picks 3 out of the 3. They picked the one, this, that, and the third, right? Apparently that ain't true. Apparently Jay-Z said, yeah, it's going to be Bad Bunny. End of story. We can make these motherfuckers think they want to pick whoever. Yeah, you thought it was going to be Lil Wayne. No, it never was. It's going to be Kendrick. So at the end of the day, Jay-Z was apparently gets the last say. So he's right. And I'm sure Roger Goodell, before Jay-Z locks in and pushes the needle and put the button and say, yeah, it's this, I'm sure Roger Goodell say, well, let me sit down with me and tell me why you think this. And he probably was like, well, Bad Bunny's the biggest artist on earth. End the story. He gonna bring in all these shows, all these games you playing down in Mexico and Brazil and all these places. You trying to expand. You want to be like you want to be like soccer, don't you? Want to be like FIFA? Well, we do want to be. Well, this shit. You all, what the fuck we talking about? This guy has worldwide appeal. I'm going to get you the number. Just said, Roger, let me do what you bring me here for, right? So he talked to Roger. Roger's like, okay, you got it. You right. You're right, Sean. You my bad. I overstepped again. You goddamn right. You overstepped. Let me continue. Quote. So it goes like, well, maybe Jay-Z will do it, he said, which nothing against Jay-Z. I respect him for his hustle and his music, but it seems like there's a little bit of DEI hire there going on. What? DEI hire would imply that the whole league is white and Jay-Z got thrown in there. It's mad black people in the league, gang. People of color in this football league. Most of the players on the field is football. The football players, they of color. I don't know if you're going to be a DI hire in the league where most of the people are already that color. But end of the day, he's talking about on the business side. So DI hire would imply Jay-Z's not qualified to do the job. There's a white guy out there better to do this job than Jay-Z. So therefore, that would make Jay-Z a diversity hire. Because he's really not qualified. They only gave it to him because of color. I think Jay-Z he made the NFL way more money than they ever thought. The white guy would have came and been like, when the last time did Britney Spears hit the stage? Maybe we need to call Britney. I used to love her. No, this ain't the DEI hire because he brought the right people and that they would have never approved these people. They said the last 7 years has been all people of color. They would have never approved these people. It would have been like Post Malone, Timothy Chalamet. Like it would have been, they would have had a nice little lineup of people with no flavor. Right? Wasn't Katy Perry what they was doing before we got here? Katy Perry is one of the most clowned. I think that's when her career took the turn at the Super Bowl. So that's who they would have been picking. He would have been like, I got it, boss. Hear me out. Christina Aguilera. Like it would have been, what? What we talking about, gang? So let me continue. From there, he remarked, quote, black guys love Jay-Z and suggested that the hire was only made to improve black male viewership in the wake of Colin Kaepernick's exit from the league. Gang, Colin Kaepernick been gone. I get it. I know the Colin Kaepernick thing was back then, this, that, and the third. That wasn't going to make or break black people watching. Everybody was talking about boycott, and motherfuckers was there right there the very next season. And the season after that. And the season after that. They had all that fake stuff with the jerseys, with the what was on the back, love and racism, all this stuff on the back of the jerseys. Roger Goodell did all that. They was already bouncing back with their reputation. They brought Jay-Z as icing on the cake. Now, I get it. At the time, they needed a strong spokesman that was going to be black, this, that, and the third, to quelch and qualm a lot of the whatevers. But Jay-Z had already did that, right? I don't think that they needed him to be picking the halftime performances. They wanted him to do that because they knew whoever he would pick, he would pick it, and they could throw the blame on him. Right now, they can pick anybody and say Jay-Z did it, right? Tell him Kendrick did it, right? Tell him Jay-Z did it. Right now, they like this. Whatever he does, that's him over there. Roger Goodell don't even be talking about it. He don't talk about it till after it's announced. And he'd be like, well, I respect the choices. I think Jay-Z did a damn good job. He don't even talk about who the choice is because they absolved themselves of it by bringing Jay-Z in. That's not a DEI hire. That's a necessary hire. You needed this guy in every kind of way. You needed them to pick the right people and take the blame for it. You had your constituents upset about you allowing these guys to kneel. Then you allowed them to wear jerseys that say erase racism, hate beats love, and all this shit they was putting on their jerseys. So yeah, you were taking a hit. You needed somebody to come in and take that hit for you. This wasn't no diversity hire. You needed this man. You needed him bad. Even though people were still watching, they was upset. There was still a lot of talk online about, they still was talking about boycotting and this, that, and the third. So you needed him to squash that. Okay? Now I understand what he's saying. Oh, it's a DEI hire, whatever, black guys, black guys gonna watch football game. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you're talking about. They might watch it mad, but they still gonna watch it. So at the end of the day, yeah, you needed them to kind of squash what the black guys were doing, but they was gonna watch it anyway. What he did was smooth it over and make it okay again. Okay? They was gonna reluctantly watch the shit from the kitchen. Now they can sit down on their couch and watch it. Okay? Let me continue. He says, I'm not that ignorant. I know a lot of us love Jay-Z, not just black guys, he continued. He cleaned it up because he knew that they was going to say, what, man, you trying to say only black guys love Jay? You bugging out. So he cleaned that up real quick. He continued, but in the league where you have this problem, it seemed like, oh, we'll bring him in. Kid Rock served as the headliner for Turning Point USA's All-American Halftime Show, which the company put on as a counter program to Bunny's halftime show. Other performers included Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, and Gabby Barrett. So they have some of the most awful artists for their stuff. Therefore, the thing did awful. They tried to come out and say 5 million viewers, and you guys didn't think this would happen. 5 million viewers as compared to 135 million people watch the Super Bowl. One of the biggest Super Bowl halftimes in history, right? So what we got is a guy that was the face of this. First of all, he's not the right face. If you wanted to prove something, right? They put the thing on after. Did you know that they put the so-called show on after Bad Bunny finished? Therefore, you look at Donald Trump down at Mar, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but that's what I heard online, and I've read it in several different sources. So that's why you got Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago with the goddamn Bad Bunny thing still on the screen. They didn't have nothing to program the alternative at the same time. I thought that was the whole purpose. It ain't make no sense. So now I got to miss the game to watch Kid Rock? It's silly, gang, if that's true, if my sources are correct, if they put it on after Kid Rock said he watched Bad Bunny. How you watch Bad Bunny if you up there rapping? The girls with beeper, all this shit he talking about, whatever he's rapping about. How you do all that and how'd you watch Bad Bunny at the same time? It's weird, gang. I don't understand what the logic was, the alternative to whatever. So let me continue. In addition to Kid Rock, President Don, somebody in the comments tell me if that's actual facts, that they put it on after Bad Bunny went off. It's like a response, right? Like the Democrats go and then the Republicans, and to respond, let me respond to Joe Biden ass. Like, no, that's dumb, gang. You put it on the same time to say we went head to head with Bad Bunny. We beat him. It's silly. Let me continue. In addition to Kid Rock, President Donald Trump complained about Bad Bunny's performance in a scathing post on his Truth Social website. There's some pastor out there, some black pastor talking about he blaming the media for exposing Donald Trump's post on this matter because, quote unquote, black people wouldn't even have known what he said because they're not even on Truth Social. These people, so I guess they're stirring up the news, like what they used to call uppity niggas, right? So I guess if we don't know what he says, then we won't be offended by what he says. Some of these pastors, gang, you got to understand what's going on. Some of these pastors, they want to roll that way because they're grifting too. Okay, they're grifting too. They're grifting with these races. These races. I think it's the guy that got up there and was talking about free at last. Complete grifter. It's so buffoonish. It's so ridiculous that even J.D. Vance and Trump was sitting there. They're like they know that he's playing them. They know that this is all. It has to be. They know it's so cartoonish that he has to be running a game. But they know that the game gonna work either way. Free at last, thank God almighty. That guy. Weirdo shit. End of the day, let me continue. If that's your pastor, you deserve to get scammed, right? Come to my church. It's called the Church of Pastor Plate. And we'll talk about nothing. We just pass the plate and then you go home. You're welcome. You could come. Listen. Kid Rock served as a headliner, In addition to Kid Rock, President Donald Trump complained about Bad Bunny's performance in a scathing post on his Truth Social website. Quote, "It makes no sense. It's an affront to the greatness of America." America building a lot of races, cultures and creed, gang. This is what they don't understand. They want to keep that part out of these big bone brolic statements they keep making. It doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, or excellence. Nobody understands a word of this guy saying, and the dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching from throughout the USA and all over the world. Ah, boy. So at the end of the day, man, ain't we the country that Janet Jackson, they pulled her thing off and the kids saw that? Are the kids okay? Did the kids survive Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake? Who, by the way, Janet Jackson got way more flack than Justin Timberlake, who removed the flap off her boobie and exposed her boobie. I was sitting there watching it. Me and my homeboys without no kids was like, oh, this is awesome. I was like, oh, shit, what the fuck? My kids over there. End of the day, right? But what happened was, that happened. Kids okay. They lived. They survived. They're in their 20s and 30s now, if I'm not mistaken. So it's okay, right? Dancing is okay. Right? They used to do it back in the day. They had the Partridge Family, the Brady Bunch, the Monkeys. They had all this shit, and they were dancing, and they came out fine. And you will too. Your kids will be fine too. It's gonna be okay. They heard Spanish. Half of them already heard Spanish. You go out in any capacity, they're playing Spanish anyway at most of these venues and clubs anyway. So I don't know what the uproar is about. Let me continue. Despite the criticism from conservatives, Bad Bunny's performance was a massive success for the NFL, and that's why they brought Jay-Z in, the D.E.I. hire, according to this guy. I told you, this guy be pandering. Let me continue. According to early reports, 135.4 million people tuned in, making it the most popular Super Bowl halftime show in history. So, Kid Rock is pandering. It's our fault. But these racists are really up in arms, and they're trying to say it's not the national language. Well, guess what, gang? If anybody asks you what the national language for America is, or the United States, there is not one. There's not one on record. There is no national language, just so you know and I know. So when they start beating you down with these comments, this, that, and the third, and they say, man, the national language, stop them right there, gang. What's the national language again? Because we don't actually officially have one. So for you motherfuckers all up in arms talking about what it ain't and what it is, just be clear. You're coming from a point because I don't understand it, and God forbid if I don't understand something. Because I'm better than him and I'm better than all of you. And you need to do what I say because we built this country. Well, guess what? A lot of people built it and still maintain it. Y'all on this mission to deport all these people. And now you don't have nobody to work in your country clubs and this, that, and the third. You're trying to work these minors now, give them double shifts and all this shit. We heard about it, gang. We heard that all these white people that was getting their jobs stolen ain't stepping up to the plate to replace these people. I don't know if you heard about that. They talking about making some special situations where they can stay. You're mad. This is from Trump's mouth and J.D. Vance and all these other MFers. They thinking of ways to slow down the progress. And I don't know if you know that ICE is snatching over 90-something% of the people that ain't got no criminal record, which was what we wasn't told. They campaigned on they was gonna be snatching up the violent criminals. I guess they ran out. Cause they're going out the little moms here, driving the little, what's the little ass cars that fucking the little Corollas and shit. Little ass cars with no goddamn hubcaps on them. With a squeaky fucking axle. They following those cars now. And a couple, I don't know if you know, but a couple people look like me getting pulled over and taken to undisclosed locations. And they're doing a whole lot of hitting and shooting and slamming people to the ground if they don't have their ID. So ICE is not being nice right now, Kid Rock. I don't know what's going on over there at Turning Point, but a whole lot of racist shit and a lot of people that think they belong here. There's a lot of people that are Irish and Italian that don't remember that they once was called the minorities. Right? I don't know if you understand how this country works. Them people didn't become white till after a long time. They weren't, you didn't, the people that they calling white now, they wasn't white for many years. So they was rocking with us. Some of these organizations we got right now, the NAACP, was for some of these people that they calling white now, gang. I don't know if you know this. So all this, my country, my America, they didn't like them motherfuckers either. But after a couple years, they learned to assimilate. So now they standing over there with the wrapped up in their flags. End of the day, what we're going to do right now, we got to atone to these kids for Kid Rock. We got to atone to these kids for this country that we putting them in, because hip hop tried, man. We tried back in the 90s. We had Public Enemy out here. We had Poor Righteous Teachers, KRS-One. They was teaching a lot of knowledge, but there was a concerted effort to get that shit up out of here, right? They made it where, okay, there's a lot of money and too much knowledge being spit around. There's too many of these guys putting too much in the ear of these kids. We don't need no new Black Panthers out here. So there was a nice concerted effort to get that Black Panther movement out of here, and all them conscious rappers with it. End of the day, I'm gonna leave it at that, man. Listen, kids, all we can do, we're gonna deal with this Kid Rock mess, but we need some time. We need some time. It's our fault. You can blame us. We did it. I agree, we did it. We were too diverse, and we needed to be, but at the same time, we should have saw this guy with these goddamn jean shorts on and this goddamn, what kind of hat is that? A Stetson? I don't know what kind of hat that is, but it's my bad. It's our fault. We didn't stop him at the door. Right? Him, Insane Clown Posse, and a whole lot of other motherfuckers came through. No disrespect to Insane Clown Posse. I don't have no problem with them. But at the end of the day, man, a lot of people crept through the door, right? And we got to kind of like start kind of watching a little bit better. All right, I'm going to leave it at that, man. I'm out of here, man. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Also, go down in my bio. I got some links down there, some affiliate links that when you click them, it helps the channel out. I got Temu down there. You know you've been on Temu. All the goddamn emails they keep sending you. Next time you go to Timo, click my link and use my link down the bottom. Also, Black-Yeti, head on over there. I'm always repping Black-Yeti. Also, ReStream, when you want to go live on 8 channels at the same time, do that. DistroKid, that's for music distribution. Brew Demon, that's to brew your own home beer. All right, that's a good one, gang. Lock in if you like beer, this, that, and the third. And Gamo Outdoor. Also, every Wednesday night, we go live on The What Show. Me, TJ, and Fliz, 9:15, 9:30. Tap in. And we got the new video, This, That, featuring me, TJ, and Fliz, some hip-hop shit. We rocking out on that. Tap in. Let us know what you think. Get in the comments, man, and share the video. I'm out here, man. I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Aliens was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat, get my sheepskin, grab my wallet, get my pocket knife, and get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6 man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within, with the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin, with a level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end, and then secured a spot with some goons and some kin, and then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs, and yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb, and yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word, and he the one that got it cracking, and all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like Pats fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe, then put some food in his face, and he'll kill for you. But I don't need him for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here, we ain't the cheese, we the trap.